Man, ay. We're -4 in debt. I don't know where the additional 1 came from. I guess we'll find out as we work through all these news reports and stuff. Let's go from right to left. Police retaliation in Benfi. During the increasingly violent protests, 6 police officers were killed in Benfi. Oh man, the police forces tasked in the area opened fire to retaliate. Civilians have been killed during the gunfire. The death toll is at 38. There are 21 wounded. Personnel involved in the killing have been suspended until further investigation. But look, growth is leveling out again. Stop killing each other. Seaport opens. Wait, we don't get to do a ceremony? The Morna Seaport has opened to international sea traffic. Sortis ships are now traveling to 40 destinations worldwide and offer cheap sea travel from distant continents like Rikanzenia. The disconnected Lauren region is set to benefit from the influx of goods and people. More jobs have been created as a result of the port activity. That is great. That is what we want. What is the other one? Low investment synergy reported. The synergy between various investments across sectors remains low. Whatever, figure it out. There's nothing we can do about that. I love reports that are worthless. Thousands more gain amnesty. Thousands of political enemies of Tarkin Sol are finally returning to their homes for the first time in decades. These are the people we freed. Many famous political prisoners have also been freed from Antel Rock Prison as part of the amnesty. That is great news. A record number of female students. That's great news. The proportion of female students enrolled in Sordland's education system is getting closer to half of the student body, with more than 1 million enrollments recorded this academic year being women. The highest share on record in Sordland. That is great news. What do we got going on in Lockhaven? Oh no! Debt crisis shocks the economy. The central bank and the Ministry of the Economy are tackling the extensive damages caused by the debt crisis and the subsequent credit rating downgrade. Both entities are resorting to all sorts of currency and economic control measures to stabilize the volatility triggered by the events. If there's one complaint I have about the game, and I like this game a lot, is they don't let you know when you're supposed to make taxes. Like, I'd understand if you don't know what your tax income is going to be, but we have been playing blind forever. I understand making blind decisions, but at some point, we should know when are we going to get more taxes in. Because we've been here for years, and the only way we've made more money is, putting new taxes on things or selling government infrastructure. Tariffs. Trade tariffs disrupt port and marine commerce. Recent trade tariffs have adversely impacted ship commerce and overall marine trade in Lockhaven. That's probably because of the Volksland tariffs they put on us, because they don't like that we've aligned with the West. Instability affects tourism industry. Yeah, alright. Deal with it, Lockhaven. Police overwhelmed in remote cities. Since the deployment of police forces to combat the unrest, many attacks have occurred in remote cities. Ambushes are rampant, and the security forces are being pushed back. Police stations and patrols were the main targets of the militants. Unless reinforcements are provided, the current forces are not enough to control the situation. Once again, Lilius is unable to handle anything. Let's go look at these. I love to save these for the last. What's going on with order? It's not going to be good. I'm wrong. It's good. Anti-corruption raids. The anti-corruption police have been highly effective in apprehending some of the most powerful and corrupt individuals, leading to a noticeable decrease in corrupt practices. This has served as a strong deterrent to others who may have previously engaged in corrupt activities, as they now face a higher risk of being caught and facing consequences. Does that mean we'll get Tusker Karanti? That's awesome news. Oh man, policies. We got the new port going. Woot woot. That's going to bring in trade from far and wide. Oh my god. So many bad things. Well, look at the one good thing. The one good thing is we have improved transportation links. That's because of the road system we built to, England. And now we got the port system. Oh yeah, but look at all these bad things. Tourism declining. Ay. Groony now is lagging behind in development. Manger, that's your area. Fix it. The debt crisis. I still don't know why we ended up getting another negative point. England lacks investment. What? We built a road there, and the Ignolians were investing there, and the Arcasians are investing in us. And then Lauren's economy's gotten worse all of a sudden. Man, all these things. Oh, what did I miss? Oh, and the trade tariffs. I'm pretty sure that's the Volksland thing. They had warned us the Volksland thing would hurt us at some point. Though growth is projected to even out, despite all these bad news things. What do we got for news? Equa's insights. Ado and the CSP threaten Sordish independence. Renowned former academic and Volpitzer laureate Herman Equa, or Equia, I don't know, whatever, famed for his books Geopolitics of Sordland and Post-Revolution Synthesis, warns of the growing influence of Ado and CSP on Sordland. Our nation has become a tug-of-war between these powerful entities. I got bigger problems than that, bro. Government takes steps to address budget deficit and boost credit rating. The government has taken note of the recent downgrade. What I would like to assume is the reason we have a -1, another -1 in our debt, is that's money we're paying to service the debt. I have not seen that anywhere. If I've missed it, feel free to clear it up for me. The government has taken note of the recent downgrade of Sordland's credit rating from B- to D- by foreign rating agencies. In response to this development, the administration is taking decisive action to implement prudent fiscal policies and measures that will help regain investor confidence in the Sordish Ren and government bonds. Apparently the Minister of Economy says he's got some plan. I'm sure he'll have a plan that's cost us money. Alright, what do we got? Rayne refuses Security Act law. The administration has decided to veto the comprehensive security laws. That was last time, I think it was. They wanted to violate the rights of the people, get rid of the need for a warrant. The police could go beyond their police power anytime they wanted? Nah. Grand opening of Mornaport. Yeah, that's us. We did something. With the construction of Mornaport, the weight has been lifted off the port of Conriat. The flow of goods is expected to pour towards Holsard faster than ever via the port. Large corporations based in Morna are expressing their gratitude towards the administration. That is something we don't see a lot of. The president's decision has propelled Holsard and the Lauren region out of the recession. So Holsard is right here where the capital is, and Lauren. So apparently these two areas are no longer in recession. The rest of the country is, but those two aren't. Jobs are increasing, and money is rushing towards the capital. Just as its name suggested, the capital of Holsord, or High Sword, will bring the solution needed to get Sordland on its feet. That is the kind of news we need. USP conservatives try to obstruct administration. I thought all the USP conservatives left. Well, some of them left. Sources from within the Grand National Assembly have informed us that the conservative wing of the USP seem to be intentionally obstructing President Rayne's agenda. You don't say. You don't. Wait, people in our own party have been trying to sabotage us this whole time? Wow. Color me surprised. From failing to attend committee meetings to delaying bills that the president has attempted to push through, Gloria Torrey and her fellow conservatives have no apparent motive other than blocking Rayne at every turn. Torrey and the president are known to have clashed over the latter's constitutional reforms. Could that have prompted her vindictive attitude? That, or she's doing what Sol wants. And that's why we're trying to transform the party and de-Solize it. Election campaign ramps up across Sordland. The election campaigning efforts have started to pick up speed across Sordland. To become the 5th president of Sordland, the candidates began delivering their speeches at rallies and conventions, while the party flags were flying in major cities. The campaign centers are busy with scheduling and organizing events. The exciting times of election are approaching. In the majority of the cities, the USP appears the most prominent, that's our party, where PIFTA falls behind, along with the NFPs. NFPs, once again, the ultra-righties. It will be thrilling to see the presidential race renew once again for the fast-approaching elections. Now, we got some seriously good news here from the Holsord Post about Holsord and Lorraine, or Lauren, whatever. If these two provinces have pulled out of the recession, these should be great places to campaign, right? That's a very important issue. The whole country hasn't pulled out. Oh, whoa, man, pull out king, you know what I'm saying? But these two have. Good. Sortish debt causes credit downgrade. I know, that's a problem we gotta fix. Government's mismanagement leads to credit grading downgrade. Yeah, you can feel that way. You might be right. Harshest security proposal vetoed from the radical. In an act of courage, President Rayne... Wait, they said we were courageous? The radical doesn't say anything about us. In an act of courage, President Rayne has vetoed the Security Act proposal that would see unhinged powers extend to the security forces of the country to put down the ongoing protests. The Assembly with a majority had proposed the bill, which was immediately struck down by the President, and they can't do nothing about it. Oh, Assembly, if you'd only passed my Constitution, you could have overridden me, but you can't. Sadly, your powers are ineffective here. The draft bill entailed necessary measures, yeah, blah, blah, blah. The President did the right thing to prevent the harshest laws package the country has ever seen? Wow, the radical never says we did the right thing. Or they're always like, well, you still can't trust him. Wow. Sordland's debt crash sends shockwaves across international markets. That's not good. In response to the situation, the MFI has expressed its willingness to intervene and provide financial assistance to Sordland, but only if the government implements stringent austerity measures. The funny thing is, until recently, we had run a very austere situation, but then some bad things spiraled out of control, most of which I couldn't help. A couple of them were me taking on debt for good causes, but some of them were things we just couldn't deal with. Oh man. Sortish debt debacle. The mounting budget deficit and unsustainable borrowing have led to concerns among investors and analysts about the nation's ability to service its debt. Sordland now faces a serious debt crisis. If we ever brought in new tax money, it might not be a problem. When do we get paid? This lack of confidence has resulted in increasing borrowing costs, a reduction in foreign investment, and the risk of potential default. All I can say is debts can be paid. If anybody ever pays their taxes, you know. Children for Future Act. These are going to cost money and get struck down. I almost guarantee it. Yep, this is going to get struck down. In a continuation of efforts to promote social progress and upliftment, the Parliament introduces the Children for Future Act. This act focuses on providing tangible support to families in need, with particular attention to the welfare of children. We can't afford it. We just can't afford it. Vetoed. Yeah, someone can complain. Is the radical going to complain? They will. No future for sortish children. We got no money, bro. Human dignity bill. Does this cost money? No. Okay, so we can consider this one. The Human Dignity Bill, the HDB, is set before the Assembly to address the unintended consequence of the 1923 Legal Transaction Act. Section 1 of the HDB revisits and amends Section 3 of the aforementioned Act. This is exciting stuff. So exciting. Which previously allowed transactions involving non-registered businesses or other entities, including individuals, to be legalized, provided that the accurate documentation was submitted to the financial authority. The HDB bill specifically revokes the legality of such transactions if they involve activities that infringe upon public morality. Section 2 directly addresses the inadvertent loophole created by the 1923 Act, which resulted in the unregulated existence of prostitution. This section of the HDB explicitly categorizes prostitution as an illegal activity, irrespective of whether it occurs within a registered or non-registered entity, thereby fortifying our commitment to uphold common decent and moral principles. Section 3 stipulates the penalties for violations of the provisions in the preceding sections. It deems prostitution an illegal offense subject to punitive measures as outlined by law. These measures can range from fines to imprisonment or both, depending on the severity and frequency of the violation. Why didn't nobody bring this up before? Yeah, sure, we'll outlaw prostitution. Who's going to be mad about that? Someone's going to be mad about that. I gotta buy my hookers. The whole Sword Post says, traditional values are Swordish law. President Rayne has signed the Human Dignity Bill, preventing common decency... Oh, protecting, not preventing. That's two very different things. Protecting decency in Sordland. Prostitution will now be punishable by law, ensuring that moral principles, traditional values, and Sordland's integrity is now written in law. The Assembly should be applauded for its strong moral backbone in the signing of this bill. Hopefully that helps us out politically. What do we got here? Policies? Yep. All right. You can't be selling your pootie tang. What else we got? Discussion of current internal affairs. Can I just say it's a shit show? A storm was on the horizon outside my window, and a storm of a different kind was brewing inside my office. I straightened myself on the sofa and looked at Carl. He was sitting on the couch across from me, ready to give me a report about the incident. I had just learned that a policeman gunned down an entire crowd. Give that man... Was it Dirty Harry? Give that man a medal. I mean, it was probably a bad thing, but he shot an entire crowd? One man? We stared at each other, not knowing how to react. A muscle in his jaw twitched. Was it Sledgehammer?
Sir, I know you wanted to establish talks with him, but these people do not understand diplomacy. Our men did their best to show restraint, but 6 officers were killed yesterday in Benfi. They are not innocent citizens anymore, Mr. President. They're killers, and so one of our boys had a reaction. I won't defend his actions, but will not let him be thrown under the bus either. Hundreds of rioters surrounded them, sir. There was a risk of lynching. He was authorized to carry a submachine gun, and he used it.
He lowered his head. Carl, I am so very angry at you right now. You should be going after Karanti and Tusk, taking out the corrupt people that are hurting the economy, the oligarchs, and your men are shooting people in the streets? I told you to establish talks with them, not shoot the entire crowd!
I'm sorry, sir. It was outside of my control.
I want everyone responsible to be tried.
Of course, sir. He's already dismissed from his duty. I know there's no excuse for it, sir, but I'll make sure nothing like this ever happens again.
You said that after the circus murder too, Greaser. Should I fire Carl? I'm firing you, Carl. You know what? You're not getting things done. You're fired. You're done.
Sir!
Go pack up your office. You are dismissed. He stood up immediately and left the room without saying a word. I hope someone else is going to be doing those other investigations. Oh no, unruly generals? Fuck them! Unruly generals. The communication breakdown between the higher-ups and the generals in the military has become a major issue. Despite the weekly reports, the generals are not responding effectively, leading to lack of coordination and effectiveness in executing commands. But we have happy military personnel, but the leaders are unruly, the generals are. Carl has been fired. I liked Carl. But, like, that's not excusable, man. Like, I'm sick of people not getting results. We've had too many people failing, fucking shit up. Rumberg plane warned inside airspace. A lone Rumbergian war plane violated our airspace by entering the territory of Sordland for 2 minutes and left after issuing a radio message. What a horrible time for our generals to get unruly. I am really pissed at them, too. Oh, man. Let's go look at the news. Ladies' bill struck down. We didn't have the money for it. I'm sorry. Families in Sordland can breathe easier as the controversial Women's Liberation Act, proposed by the Minister of Education, Sierra Walda, with the blessing of First Lady Monica Rayne, completely failed to pass. I didn't have a choice. We have no money. We already have a massive debt problem. Protesters' response to diplomacy. 6 officers killed in action. Well, we already know about that. We already know about the rating on our debt not being good. The Protect Women Act is signed. Yes, Lockhaven Times, it's true, and a massive step forward for Sordland's women. Domestic violence became illegal throughout the country, thanks to a bill proposed by the government's new Women's Rights Commission. Spearheaded by Education Minister Sierra Walda, the commission had originally pushed for sweeping new laws regulating equality among the sexes in the school and workforces. Those failed to pass. Yeah, she sucked. We did get equality in school by doing it ourselves without her, though. But yeah, the Women Protect Act, we signed that. What's going on the world stage? Arcasia's dual approach to refugees. Amidst rising religious persecution in United Contana and several hardline CSP nations, the Republic of Arcasia has opened its door, positioning itself as a beacon of hope for the oppressed. To manage the influx, the Arcasian government has implemented a program integrating these refugees into the workforce, addressing both the nation's labor needs and providing meaningful employment to the newcomers. That's awesome. So they're letting the refugees come in, the religious refugees. We need to look at the military thing another time. So we have a problem that the military has a history of interfering in politics in this nation, number one. Number two, the generals for some reason now are getting unruly and not communicating well. That's a concern. Hopefully it's not going to be a coup. On the flip side, we have happy military personnel. I don't know if that means the generals are happy but don't want to talk to us, or if it means the soldiers are happy and the generals are not. Certainly, the generals are unruly. That ain't a good thing. What time is it? Oh, I'm running a little bit long on this episode. Oh, man. So much stuff. Alcohol tax. I don't want to pass that. I might have to. Fund a political youth group. I don't want to go to youth group. I want to just run around with my friends and cause trouble. Oh, being president is hard. Oh, and Peter's not even here to make a joke about getting hard. I'll see y'all next time.